Hey, anybody in America really excited about playing a game of dominoes? Or more notably, the domino effect of what Elon Musk and Doge are doing to this economy and country? Oh yeah, there is a reality to cutting thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs all at the same time. And that breaking story is coming up in a few seconds. I'm going to tell you about it. But let's remember this. Remember COVID? Remember what happened 6 months into COVID? What happened? Supply chain. Remember hearing over and over again, supply chain, supply chain, supply chain. Well, commodities and products aren't the only thing that are a supply. Human beings are a supply chain as well. Because if there's less money in the pocket, they're spending less money, and what does that create? The R word, a recession. And if you want to hear more about this breaking story, holy smokes, take a quick listen to this.
Thanks for staying with us. The Trump administration ordered the termination of more than 6,000 Internal Revenue Service employees last week. Now, according to a federal employees union, that could include roughly 1,000 IRS workers in Kansas City alone. Donna Ginther is here to discuss the potential economic ramifications of this and much more. Kansas City, tell me about the federal workforce footprint in Kansas City and the surrounding area.
It's about 3 to 5% of all workers in the Kansas City metro area.
What have been the ripple effects so far of the Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to shrink the federal workforce there?
So about 3,000 of federal workers in Kansas City are at risk of losing their jobs, and that's before any additional reduction in force. When I looked at job postings today on Lightcast, there were 2,700 jobs that required a bachelor's degree. Most of these federal workers have a bachelor's degree, so it appears that there may not be enough jobs in the Kansas City metro to absorb the number of workers who are losing their jobs.
And I have read studies, Donna, that indicate that an employed federal worker has a multiplier effect in the local economy. What is it there? So what are we talking about here in terms of spillover or domino effects in your region and possibly nationwide if these workforce reductions grow even larger?
The multiplier effect is about 2. So for every dollar spent on federal workers, you get 2 additional workers. So about 6,000 workers may be affected, and then $2 more in economic activity for every dollar spent.
Now that's just using the example of one city. They were just talking about Kansas City. But this isn't just the IRS. It isn't just USAID workers. It's all across the country. And in this breaking story, guess who just reminded Elon Musk and Donald Trump? You might be going a little too fast, and you're going to create a recession. Here it is. Take a listen.
Announced layoffs have jumped to levels not seen since the last 2 recessions. Report. Reuters is reporting that the number of announced layoffs in the United States has jumped to levels not seen since the last 2 recessions. Citing data from global outplacement firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas, Reuters brings word that announced job cuts totaled 172,017 in February, which is an increase of 245% over the previous month and the highest total for a February since the United States was in the middle of the Great Recession. Cuts to government workers accounted for more than 63,000 layoffs as Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has been ruthlessly hacking away at the federal workforce. What's more, it seems likely that the massive scope of layoffs is likely to have a cascading effect on the broader economy. When mass layoffs occur, it often leaves remaining staff feeling uneasy and uncertain, said Andrew Challenger, Senior Vice President at Challenger, Gray & Christmas. The likelihood that many more workers leave voluntarily is high. Trump and Musk have thrown the U.S. economy into a period of high uncertainty as they have not only slashed the federal workforce, but have also implemented high tariffs on foreign goods from America's 2 largest trading partners.
Every ounce of this story, every ounce of what we're witnessing, again, remember, you may not know me, but trust me, I'm a guy who's all for disruption. I'm a guy who's all for change. I'm a guy who's all for, hey man, we can make this more efficient. We can make this better. People who know me call me Mr. Codification. But the reality is that efficiency, which is what Doge actually is supposed to finish with on the E, my middle initial is E. People just call me Mr. Efficiency for the hell of it. But what it's supposed to create is actual efficiency. But one of the ways you do that on a large scale is you first examine it. You second identify what's the priority of change. And then you start making changes incrementally. You wouldn't hear people screaming as much if they had just gone about this in a much smarter way so they didn't have to fire and rehire people that were essential. And if they just started trimming things down a month at a time, they could have accomplished whatever they wanted to in 4 or 6 months, but they're doing it all at once, and it's liable to create a severe recession. Just know, they'll find a way to blame it on the Democrats, but no, it's Donnie and Elon, the BFFs, doing what they shouldn't do too fast. Hang in there, keep smiling, talk to your friends, stay frosty.